All right, welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. Sorry this didn't come out Monday night as I had planned, but things got in the way with some Monday Night Football. I had an NBA fantasy draft. My brother came over after coming back from Baltimore, so I was just too busy to get this done last night. So unfortunately, I had to do this Tuesday afternoon. Hopefully, you don't mind a little bit of a delay, but I will be back on the normal schedule starting next week along with rolling out a few other shows that I have planned. Now, with all of that said, hopefully you're enjoying everything here on our channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, don't worry, I got you covered. Just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so let's get right into it with the top of the stack. So we will have a few books that are right there at the top of the stack, top of the pile, things I can't wait to get a hold of and read first thing once I get my books tomorrow. Now at this point, again, sorry again for the delays, but Baltimore did take a lot out of me this weekend. If you're curious, we will probably be talking some stories and etc. on tomorrow's tack, because I do plan on being on the tack show tomorrow night just so we can recap and have some fun and reminisce about the fun that was Baltimore. It was a good time, and it was good meeting a few of you who came out to say hello. Now, with that said, this is what we got coming for our top of the stack. I have just two books because, again, there's a couple of big events rolling, so some of these titles may bleed in from some other segments. But outside of the big events, I'm really looking forward to the second part of Skinbreaker. I really enjoyed the first part. It gave me sort of what I would have liked more out of Avatar kind of vibes. Less Pocahontas, more of this. So I'm into this. So I'm willing to take a look, and I can't wait to check out issue 2 here as we see how the new elder will be chosen. With that, multiple cover options as well. We got a cover A. You've got a B cover option here as well. You got a 1 in 10. Then we got other incentives with a 1 in 25 as well as a 1 in 50. All of them pretty solid covers. I'm most likely just going to get the A. I mean, David Finch's art is fantastic. So the A or the B, you really can't go wrong. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of these, but just for the sake of my wallet, I'm going to lay off of the incentives of just stick with the open order cover. Now, with that all said, the other book, can't wait for Exquisite Corpses issue 6. So we're still rolling on with this storyline. I'm still down. I'm still into it. We've got issue 6 coming out with a few cover options as well. I'm getting the A, as I always do. I don't generally get the other open order variants. So here, the B cover, I'm not picking up, mostly because I get the card cover as well. So this is the polybag edition that has the card. I've been ordering these pre-order through DCBS, so those ones have kind of limited me on me purchasing some of the other open order covers, like this other one over here with the bunny dude. But that doesn't take away from the fact that some of these covers are pretty nice, and I am tempted to get the 1 in 25, this Tyler Boss, because it's just fun. I mean, I just dig it. I don't know. It's messed up. It's kind of creepy with the teeth inside the teeth and the eyeballs inside the eyeballs. I don't know. It's kind of fun. And there's a 1 in 50 option here as well, if you want to go that route. But with this, as you know, they've also had a secret drop. So we will roll right into the secret drop with this week's one per store, which is, again, going to be that silver foil edition of Exquisite Corpses, that cover A. I mean, they've done it the entire run, so we shouldn't be surprised at this point that there, yes, is, even after 6 issues, yet another one per store for this book. So there you go. I haven't heard any details of any other books. Skinbreaker doesn't have another one. For instance, I think the Black Foil was just on issue 1, so I don't think they're going to be continuing that trend going forward. And nothing else. Secret drops, at least that I'm aware of. I mean, there's always the chance that there's an ash can or some sort of freebie dropped into retailer boxes that I'm unaware of. But so far, no news on that. With that, I mentioned before that outside of these top of the stack type of books, there are the big events that are running. So I try my best to keep up with them, mostly through the main titles, but some of them will have some tie-ins. And I may grab the occasional tie-in, but not all of them when it comes to DCKO, because again, there's going to be too many. But here is our DC KO books for the week of October 22nd. So when you go to your shop, you will have a couple of options and a couple of tie-ins to this huge DC event, starting off with Superman. So tying in, you can see right across the top, we'll have that big blue border for the KO tie-in. The Beating Heart of Apocalypse. So Superman is a good book. I mean, he does play a main role in this, so this might be a good one to kind of keep up with if you want to just stick to limited tie-ins. This might be a smart one to keep following. I'm up in the air whether I can do it, but we'll see. This is Legacy issue 874, issue 31 of the current series, and there will be some later prints, second printings of the prior issues in case you need to catch up. Apart from the cover A we have here, there is a Aja that's pretty cool right there. We've also got some other options with this bad boy over here, as well as this one over here, and even this one over here. And yes, these are all open order as DC has eased off on the incentives of late. So all open order covers here. Pick whichever one you like best, and that's how you keep up with Superman. Now, I am tempted now, with Bad Moon Rising all over with, to jump in here and start checking out the Flash. But maybe part of this DC KO event, maybe now's not the time. We'll see, I guess, the new direction once the event's all over. But for now, there is a tie-in here with Flash number 26, which is Legacy number 826, with this cover A, Impulse Point on the front. A couple of other cool covers here. I like the B cover with the graffiti on the wall. I'm always a big fan of the graffiti covers. And then there is yet another Mark Spears trading card, vintage look with the wear and tear on it, cover right there. So there's your Flash. Kind of reminds me of, what is it, the John Wesley Shipp 90s TV show version of him. You know, I don't know, it gives me those vibes, as does the trading card, I mean, from the 90s. So with that, we'll keep going, as there is yet another tie-in this week for your reading pleasure. If you want to keep up with it, Justice League Unlimited is also tying in to the KO event. This is the Terrific 10 Part 1. I haven't been reading Unlimited lately, so I don't know where we're at as far as the story goes. But if you want to keep up with it, here you go. Another tie-in to the big DC event with multiple covers. We got our A, we got our B by Zerdy. We've got a C cover here by Derek Chu. Another one over here, and yet another one over here. And this one, I just cannot unsee the fact that it looks like my man has a big red afro, right? I mean, I know that's Apocalypse in the background, but when I see it, all I see is this. I just see a big clown afro. I can't help it. It's just placement. You could have put Apocalypse a little bit higher, especially with the limited trade dress. You could have raised it up, and it wouldn't have been right there. It looks like Yondu decided to get rid of the mohawk and went with the big Pam Grier fro. But with that all said, that's what we got out of DC's KO event this week. So just to keep us up to date, there were our our prologue issues. I'm sorry, the core issue that came out on October 8th, and then we got a couple of tie-ins so far, all the way up to our 7th part, I believe, for this event so far. So seven event books, not terrible, but it's going to add up. It's going to add up over time. So I'm not going to run this every week, but just for now, to keep you on point, that's where we're at with that event. The other huge event going on right now, but this time over at Marvel, and the one that is draining my wallet, is the big X-Men event, the Age of Revelation, because I am an X-Men fan. I did love Age of Apocalypse, and I'm really looking forward to what we're doing here with this. Not really a sequel. I mean, it's a sort of similar-ish sort of a event, but it's something new, something different for me. I'm into it. That said, it is hurting the wallet. Here's what we got coming out of the Age of Revelation this week. We've got Omega Kids, grown up Kid Omega. Now has a little squad underneath of him, I guess. There we go. Cover A. I still don't like the border on these for the event. I wish it was across the top. I'm more used to that. These look like little trade paperbacks that you would find in the kids book section. I don't like it when it's down the side. So yeah, it is what it is. But I don't know. It is written by Tony Fleece, so I do like Tony. So I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to give all of these a shot because, again, I'm a big X-Men fan. But here's our B cover, giving you that sort of that boys kind of view, looking down at a camera or perspective. We got a C cover option here as well. Looks like you took out Onslaught. We've got, they're not all Ricky Yagawa covers apparently, but these character spotlights, this time it's a Ron Lim. Okay. And then there is a 1 in 25 that I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. This Sorrentino, it's just really solid. I like the half of the Omega sign, and I just like the way that the characters are rendered here. It's and the nice yellow pop. I dig it. This, in this particular case, I don't mind that stripe so much, considering the layout of this cover. But it still kind of looks like a trade paperback. With that, that's one book coming out this week. The next book, we got Spider-Man even falling into this event. So we got the radioactive Spider-Man with, yes, those little arms growing out the side of him. We'll see where we go with this one. Cover A, there is a B cover right here. There is a C cover option over here. And we've got the Ricky Yagawa character spotlight over here. Because again, still doing most of the character spotlights. And then there is also the 1 in 25 if you want to go the incentive route. This one by Diwali. It's fine, but I don't think I need to go the incentive route. I'm fine just getting the A here and rolling on. Just like I'm going to get probably on the last Wolverine. A lot of cover options here, but here we go. What happened to Wolverine? We don't know, but Wendigo apparently is taking over the mantle of Wolverine at this point as the last Wolverine. Okay. But Logan's still kicking around, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. With that, again, like I said, I'm probably got the A, but there's a lot of good options here. On the B cover, you got Clayton Crane. Looks definitely more menacing of a creature there for the Wendigo. This looks like a regular old fight scene between the two on the C cover. We have another character spotlight. This one by Ricky Yagawa. Also pretty cool. And a 1 in 25 option if you want to go that route by Puppeteer Lee. Also, looks very werewolfy. Kind of cool. With that said, one more. That's right. It's like 4 books a week. It's like 16 to 20 bucks out of the wallet just to keep up with this event. But yeah, here we go. X-Men Book of Revelation #1. So this is sort of the core issue of the event. So gotta get this, right? I mean, we got all these tie-ins already. You gotta get the mainline book. So here we go. Mainline book #1. Cover A is fine. You can always go with the cover B. We got Shadowcat running out of the wall right there. Character spotlight option here, though. I think this is done by Mike McCone, not Yagawa or the Ron Lim from before. There's a foil book if you want to go shiny foil, because some people do. There is a 1 in 25. And that's it. No other incentives, which is actually a pleasant surprise that they didn't push for a 1 in 100 on this big event book. But hey, they didn't. They capped it at 1 in 25. With that, there are a lot of parts already for this event. So there it started off, with the prologue issues, 3 of them, the core issue, the overture, and then Amazing X-Men and tie-ins with Binary. And what's weird is they call some of these side shoots also core issues. So this is going to be a lot difficult. It's going to be very difficult to keep up with, but I'm getting them all anyway. So I'm just trying to keep up with how I should read them and in what order. So you got those, and then we got a few more rolling into the next week. This was October 8th, so we're already like 2 weeks ago. Look, 9 parts, 12 parts, and we're not even to this week yet. There are 13 parts. Then we get to this week's with part 14, 15 tie-ins, 16, and then core issue 17. So most of these were considered tie-ins. Core event title is part 17 already. 17, and it's only been a few weeks. It's a lot of books, right? Going to be exhausting, and it's, like I said, it hurts the wallet. With that said, more coming out of the wallet for the regular old pull list. So apart from the top of the stack and those big event books, here's some more things that are going to be costing me this week when I go to the shop. Let's see what I'm pulling this week. Well, we've got Absolute Wonder Woman. Still enjoying the Absolute books, so I'm picking them all up. Wonder Woman, #13, rolling on. The A is fine, but I do really like the Derek Chew here. Huge sword coming right at you. C is in a solid option as well. And then there's also a D option, which ain't bad. All of them, very good. Pick whichever one you like. All open order, no incentives. Same to be said with Detective Comics, which is now at issue 1102. So we got Mr. Terrific still hanging around here. Part 2, The Courage That Kills. Cover A is not bad. I really like the cover B here. So I might be I think I'm grabbing this one. Then we've got a cover C option, which would have been good, except it's sideways. I don't like sideways covers. To give you a better look at it, we'll flip it on its ear. Not bad, but it's sideways. That just annoys me. So we'll put it back. And then there's a 4th cover option if you want to go that way. Then we're nearing the end. Unfortunately for Green Arrow, Barlord tipped me off. I've been enjoying this run, and I'll be enjoying it until the end because the end is nigh. Issue 29 is the penultimate issue before they decide to end it at issue 30. So, yeah, wish more people would have bought it. Maybe it wouldn't have gotten canceled, but it looks like we are running to an end here at issue 30 coming next month. So we only got 2 options, cover A and cover B. Both solid. I think I'm going to go with the Torrin Clark cover A and be done with it. Now, sorry if my voice is kind of going in and out, but still kind of fighting off a little bit of a bug that, I've been carrying over since the con. With that, New History of the DC Universe is wrapping up their retelling of the DC Universe with issue 4. So part 404 comes out this week. I'm going to wrap it up as well. I've been getting the Dan Mora. That's the A. I've been getting the Dan Mora Spotlight covers, so I'll probably get that one as well. There are other options here if you want to go that way. So you can go this way, or you can go with the crazy thousands of DC characters everywhere. And here we go. I'll finally show you the final edition. It is a wraparound. So you got all those characters on the front, and you got all the characters on the back. And then you got the prior 3 issues, which will roll with seemingly hundreds of characters rolling our way. Hundreds of characters to go and kind of play a fun little game and see if you know them all, see if you can recognize them all, as we've got even more as we roll through that entire thing. I kind of wish I would have gotten all of those, but I didn't. Maybe I'll go back if I can find them cheap undercover. Maybe I'll pick that up just for fun, but it's a lot of characters. A lot of characters on those. I think it was Scott Kolish did those. Anyway, they also did a fun rebirth right here with the New History of the DC Universe, bringing us up to the present of sorts. And then there is a 1 in 25 option if you want to go the incentive route. So, and a sketch. There's also a sketch edition. Like I said, I'm getting the Dan Mora, and that'll be my run. On top of this, Critical Role's Vox Machina Origins still I think there's one more issue after this to wrap up this miniseries. I always get these comics. I know I got to catch up on reading all of them, but huge fan of the animated series. Looking forward to more. Looking forward to Mighty 9, which is also coming our way. So I do collect these. I have also enjoyed this Jason Aaron run on Turtles. I didn't think I would, but because I'm not a big Turtle guy, but this has been solid so far. And this is the end of Aaron's run, and then we will be going a different direction soon. But here we go with the final part. Cover A. We got a Shredder cover option as well. And then multiple others if you want to go here. John Boy. Yet another one. La Fuente. We'll bring this one back. Make it Virgin for the 1 in 10. And then we'll also got a 1 in 25. And then we'll also take back that John Boy and make that a Virgin for the 1 in 50. So cool. Get whichever one you want. The John Boy is pretty cool. I might get the John Boy on this one. Anyway, the trade dress one, not the 1 in 50. But with that said, Murder Podcast, 2nd issue, coming out. What is this, Ignition? I forgot to stop by and check out their table. I walked by their table a few times at Baltimore, but I forgot to check out what they actually had out because they were kind of busy when I was walking by. But I'm looking forward to the 2nd issue of this Murder Podcast book. Give it more of a, see where the storyline is going to keep going. We've got 2 covers, so pick whichever one you like. I think this one's a connecting cover. I'm not going to show you how they connect so far. I'll wait till there's more out before we get there. But A or B, pick your poison. There's your cover. Just like we're getting on Escape, issue 3. So I'm probably going to ride this one out until the end. This is Rick Remender's sort of a anthropomorphic wartime story with Daniel Acuna. We've got 2 cover options here with 1 or the 2. Pick which one you like. Same with the news from the Fallout, which is also almost done. So I'm going to see this one through until the end. So we got issue 5 coming out. I think issue 6 will be the finale. 2 cover options here, A or the B, which is a Daniel Warren Johnson. Both pretty good. I'm fine with either. And then we've got multiple cover options when we go over to No Man's Land, issue 2. So interesting start so far. This Simon Kudaransky book. We'll see where we go with this sort of red heat. I keep saying red heat because they're putting the combo of the U.S. and the Russian thing going, but it's not really like red heat. But that's a good movie if you haven't seen it. With that said, we've got this kind of creepy Skull Mountain option here on the one, but it's hard to ignore the movie posters, at least for me. So you got the Silence of the Lambs one here, and then I couldn't say no to a Spies Like Us. Like, how can you not pick up a Spies Like Us cover? I mean, come on, Spies Like Us. Anyway, you've got that creepy Skull Mountain. That is also the sepia toned. Looks like a sort of a flip book notebook kind of a version of it as well. So whichever one you like. Like I said, I'm going Spies Like Us in this case because great movie. With that, Sisterhood, this Hyde story, Hyde Street story. So another little offering from Ghost Machine. We're at issue 4 already with this side miniseries. We've got a cover A, which kind of looks a little bit like a Two-Faced Joker option here. You got a cover B, and that's it. So A or the B, pick which one that you like. As you got our Drowned Witches. I kind of like either. I might go with the A in this case, but I'm good with either. Then we'll go over to Marvel. Yeah, we didn't even get to Marvel yet. So with Marvel, I'm going to be grabbing the Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu because I'm still enjoying Moon Knight, still enjoying McKay's run. Going to keep reading it. So here we go. Facing the Wrecker. I'm down. Cover A option. There is a Marvel Comics Presents where he's reading. Looks like he's picking his nose, which is kind of weird. But I think he's just pulling up his mask. But it kind of looks like he's picking his nose. You can see it, right? And then we've got another option over here. Like I said, I'm probably just going with the A, but you can have the nose picker or you can have the busted through the windshield. Up to you. There may be other covers, but you know how that rolls. They'll be later on in the show. Predator. We've got 2 Predator books this week. We've got Black, White, and Blood, number 4. I'm down. They eased off on the green, thankfully. So the green is not so prominent, despite the fact that that is the blood of the Predator. I like it. So here we go. It's sort of like a anthology series of sorts with Predator. Issue 4 coming out here. Cover A. You can go with the B, riding a dinosaur, or you can go with the 1 in 25 option here, which is kind of fun. I'm probably just going to get the A. Just like I will on the next book, which is Predator Kills the Marvel Universe. Kind of fun Weapon X, Lionel Yu after Barry Windsor Smith kind of homage here. I kind of dig it. So that's probably going to be the one I grab here. But the other covers are solid. We've got this option here with Sabretooth. Pretty cool. I don't know the exaggerated nature of his shoulders and arms. I still like it, but the homage is solid. And then there's a 1 in 25, but I'm not going to go the 1 in 25 route. It is not bad. I'm just not paying 1 in 25 prices. That's all. Moving on. Ultimate Spider-Man coming near an end to this 2-year Hickman and Coquetto run. We'll see where it goes after that, but issue 22. So we only got 2 left after this. And yeah, it's redacted. So apparently we'll get some spoilers here. There is a spoiler cover. Sorry if I'm spoiling it already, but I guess he's going to be getting his extra leg suit. I don't like the symbol on the chest, but yeah, it is what it is. I think this is a Declan Shavley cover, and yeah, I got to meet him this past weekend, which was kind of fun. Again, stories tomorrow. Stories of Baltimore tomorrow. I'll try not to bore you with those. Try to keep going and keep this under an hour. Also, because my voice may not last the hour. We've also got a C cover. as well as a 1 in 25. So once again, pick which one you like. There's a lot of incentives this week. We're probably also running through the month where we're getting this trick or treat kind of thing going. So you'll notice that trend on later books coming up, which we're talking about. The Undead Iron Fist next. So I'm probably going to get the A here. Pretty solid, but we've got a Stormbreakers, Jeff Shaw, as well as another cover option here if you want to go this way. This one's also not bad. And then there's a 1 in 25. So Iron Fist is back. The Undead Iron Fist. I'm on board for more. That is a pretty cool 1 in 25. I think it's a Godtail, actually. But I'm just going to get the A. Now, before we move on, just want to remind anybody out there who hasn't tried Whatnot yet, use my link down below to sign up and get yourselves a free $15 on your first purchase. That's $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want, no strings attached. You help out the channel, you get yourself a free $15 to spend. So give it a look-see. And with that, speaking of give it a look-see, I got a couple of picks that I'm going to throw out there on the blind. So again, without prior knowledge, preview, or any of that, I just think these are probably going to be solid books coming out this week. And I'm going to be getting them, and I'm looking forward to them. So with that, let's start off first with Hello Halloween. I mean, Hello Darkness is already a horror anthology book, which is pretty good. A Halloween special, it's just perfect fit, right? I mean, probably going to be good. You got R.L. Stein and a lot of good creators throwing in stories in this anthology focused around Halloween. So A cover is probably going to be the one I go with, just sticking with that. But there is a B, pretty cool. There is actually the Bastion number 3, third option, I should say, is also pretty solid. I like Jeremy Bastion's art. Cursed Pirate Girl, very, very detailed. So I kind of like that too. And then we got a Jenny Frison. Wow, let's see, there's also a Frison. You can go here with the Witch. So might go that way. And then we'll bring back that B cover. And it's actually, there's a glow in the dark version too, which also could be kind of fun. And then one of my favorite variants of the week, this 1 in 10 is pretty creepy and pretty solid. It looks like an anime come to life, just killer scarecrow, just cool look. I like it. And then we will take that Witch Frison and remove and make it black and white. And there is our 1 in 20. All good covers across the board here. Now, with that said, the other title that I'm going to grab on a blind, also based off of these great anthologies that we've been getting. I don't know about you, but these EC horrors, this Hello Darkness stuff, even going into stretching into some of the Hyde Street and some of the Image things, a lot of these anthologies have been very, very good. And I'm looking forward to this one-shot anthology of some Westerns. So Outlaw Showdown. We'll see how this goes. Never been a big Western fan as far as comics go. I mean, I love Western movies. Seen plenty of good ones, but we'll see how this rolls with this one shot. With that said, awesome Lee Bermejo cover here to kick us off. Then we got a B option here if you want to go that way. And a C and a blank. I'm still going with the Bermejo. Then we'll get to the incentives where we got a 1 in 10. Still kind of recapturing that Harvey kind of style. 1 in 20, which is the B cover, but kind of sketchy and behind the scenes look. And then we got the table of contents 1 in 50, as I like to refer to them as. So with that, those are the blind picks that I have for this week. I think they're both going to be pretty solid, and you probably should pick them up too. Give them a read. With that, I got something special to do here with the taste test. All right, so for this week's taste test, this is not going to be related to any books coming out this week. That's normally what I do. It'll be like a title where I go back and say, haven't read this in a while. I want to go dip a toe in and take a look and see where they're at now. That's not what I'm doing this week. This week, I'm going based off of a recommendation I'm making to myself. That is to check out these books because I met the artist who does the interiors this weekend in Baltimore, and he kind of ambushed me a little bit by asking me, he's like, so what do you think of New Avengers? And I was like, I haven't been reading that book. I didn't like the lineup. I have been checking it out. And he's like, oh, because I'm actually, the artist on it right now. And then we got into talking. Great dude. And had a lot of fun hanging out this weekend with him. But I promised I would be checking these out this week to give it a look-see. So he started the interiors on issue 4 of the New Avengers. So We had one come out 2 weeks ago, was issue 5, but issue 4 is where he started with the interior. So I'm going to go grab these 2 issues that he's doing the interiors on. And the artist I'm talking about is Tiago Palma. And there's a little example of the interiors that he's doing on these books. And like I said, I'll give it a chance. You know, he convinced me. I'll give it a shot and see how it goes. With that said, issue 4 was his first, and then issue 5 was the last, which I think came out like 2 weeks ago. It was like October 8th, maybe. And then that one they fight, this evil Illuminati clone version of Reed Richards. So see how this goes. Again, he did the interior, so I'm gonna check it out, see how this goes. So with that, that'll be my taste test for the week, and I'll let you know whether I'm going to keep up with the series going forward or not. And like I said, tell you about some other stuff he's got in the pike coming from Vault, but we'll get to that down the line. With that said, let's go on to some books that I'm on the fence about. So these are some titles that, as you can see, a lot of books, a lot of money going out. I can't buy everything, but I try to keep up with it as much as I can. These are some books that I might be dropping out soon because I just can't get everything. And first one, even though we've gone through the event, I will see if I'm going to continue after it. Green Lantern. So both Green Lantern books, this and Green Lantern Corps, they wrapped up that, was it Starbreaker series? We'll see if Star Crossed, whatever they're going to be kicking off next in the Green Lantern books, if it keeps me on board or not. It looks like Star Sapphire and Hal Jordan. So we'll see how this goes. Cover A. It's pretty solid. It's very simple. It's just their 2 hands, but it does grab you. We got a Star Sapphire here option here. Very, very anime. Then we got another Green Lantern option here. It's all right. And another, Hal over here. I think I'm just going to go with the A. And like I said, I'm on the fence about it and see if I want to keep up with it. The other title that I'm on the fence about is Immortal Legend Batman. At first, I was excited to see, all right, it'd be something cool, Higgins and whatnot. We had Dan Mora on board, etc. Now it's just kind of like, I don't know if this is really for me. It's kind of a weird, I don't know, Voltron-esque sort of Power Ranger-y. I don't know how to really explain this book. But we'll see with issue 3 and this Elseworlds title if I want to keep up with it. I don't know. It's interesting, but I don't know if it's for me right now. But here's the cover A. Then there is a B cover, pretty solid, by Derek Chu, and then another solid cover here on the C cover. So all decent options. Pick whichever you like if you're going to keep up with it. But if you need supplies, use my code RENA10 over at BCW and save yourself 10% off your entire order for your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, top loaders, CGC boxes, anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. You got to get those supplies. You got to spend money you don't want to spend. So if you got to do it anyway, you might as well save some money while you do it and use that code RENA10 for 10% off your entire order. You help out the channel. You get yourself a discount, save a few bucks. Again, what do you got to lose? So with that, let's talk about some books that will still be on the rack this week when you go to your shops. Now, these are going to be some titles that I may not be personally picking up, but we should all still be aware of what's going on, and maybe we'll consider it and see what else is still going on in some of these other books that may not be part of my personal pull list, like Harley Quinn. So Harley Quinn's been one of those titles that I go dip in and out, but I've never been a huge Harley reader. Like, I like her as a character, as a side character and part of larger events and such, but a title of her own, I just go in and out. Like I said, I just can't keep up. It's just not exactly for me. Here's your cover A option. We got a Nakayama here on the B, which is pretty good. Very orange, very bright. Not a bad C here if you want to go this way. And then we have an interesting, I guess she's cutting a heart hole through a fence. Yeah, and winking. Cool. Again, has a very heavy like anime influence as well. Pick whichever one you like if you're picking up Harley. Then we're going to go over to Image and go with the Invisible Man. So these Tynan Universal Monster books are still rolling out. I just can't get them all as much as I'd love to. Maybe I'll get some trades when everything's all said and done. I just can't keep up with everything. So that's one of the reasons why this one's on the rack. Though some of the covers are pretty cool. This isn't not bad for a Danny cover. Then there's some other good stuff in here. So I'm really tempted. It's just, again, we all got limitations. So you got A's, you got B's. We got Aja here on the 1 in 10, which is kind of fun. I do like David Aja a lot. We'll take that B cover, make it a black and white. That's our 1 in 25. Also pretty solid. Then we got a 1 in 50. If you want to go a 1 in 50 option, as well as high as a 1 in 75. So cool. Get whichever one you want to grab if you want to get your Invisible Man books. Now, going over to Marvel, just Fantastic Four is just another one of those titles that in and out. I dip in, check out what's going on, check out different events, and here we are. I guess we're all done with the One World Under Doom kind of tie-ins because that event dragged on forever. But I feel like that also delayed some of these options here because here we go. It's only issue 4 of Fantastic Four, and the movie just came out in July, but we're still kind of having some tie-ins to it. Yeah, we got our silly Disney What If book. Again, I've had enough of these, but why are we doing this cover now with the what I'm assuming is the Shalabal Silver Surfer, again, tied to the movie, as well as, again, tied to the movie, the Art of Marvel Studios. There's our Galactus. I guess because the movie's coming out on digital soon or whatever. Maybe they're just going to piggyback on that. It's my only thought, because otherwise we should have had these earlier. Would have been more timely. And then we got another open order option here as well. Classic Sue and Reed. And then we've got the 4th part of a 5-part connecting set of the Fantastic Four because they stretched it, throwing Herbie in. As you can see, we're still missing somebody. We're missing Johnny. But here we go with the 4 we have so far for the connecting covers. 1, 2, 3. And then there we'll see the little tease of the thing on the 4th. We will look at all of them once all of them are out. So we got one more to go, and that'll be our Johnny Storm. They snuck Herbie in there, right in the middle. Wasn't ready for that. And then we do have a 1 in 25 if you want to go that way, as well as whoever is still buying these black and white 1 in 100 What If Disney character comic homages. I don't know. They'll have one of those too. So if you want it, go ahead and pick it up. Just like if you want Jeff the Landshark, go ahead and grab this one. Now, Jeff the Landshark really isn't my cup of tea as far as a reading book goes. I don't know. It's an interesting, fun little, again, side character, but I don't think I need to have a whole book of its own, just like Crypto. I just don't think I need it. But there it is. Cover A. There is a cover B, as well as a 3rd option as well. If you're up for it, grab whichever one you like. Again, it's not for everybody, but nothing wrong with picking this up if it's for you. It's an all ages book. Can't go wrong with that. With that said, Miles Morales. So here we go. We're going to have some fallout from Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, which we will be getting to also in a little bit. But Miles is back and got some changes. Miles is another character I've been in and out of the title for, so kind of curious what the changes might be. Maybe I'll take a look. I don't know. But we've got this cover A, not bad. This Fan Yang cover B, where her legs look really, really long in a Sveta Shubina style, where the legs are just ridiculously longer than the rest of her. Not bad. It's art. With that said, there is a 1 in 25. I'm just saying it's not proportionally correct, but it's art. You know, it's subjective. But we have this Perillo. I mean, Perillo doing a Miles Morales book. That's kind of weird. 1 in 25. Cool. We also got Spider-Girl. So Nakayama still banging out the covers on Spider-Girl. Again, just a character that's not really for me. This is one of those mirror covers where she's just kind of like the character she's on the cover with. So Ghost Rider in this case. And then there's a spoiler. And sorry if I'm ruining it, but apparently she's going to cross paths with Rogue. Cool. Rogue. Sorry, like I said, I'm losing my voice. I need to get some water in. But moving on, I mentioned the Ultimate Incursion. That is wrapping up here with issue 5. And if you're keeping up with it, we'll see how that goes. But the event is coming to an end. Other covers. I'm not keeping up with this series, but I'm pretty sure there is an explanation of why he's holding a box that says boob. Yeah, look at it. The box looks like it says boob. I'm not crazy. To me, that's all I see. I just see boob. And I don't know why. So, if you're down for it, go ahead. Get your boob book. And then we've also got this cover. Pretty cool. And a 1 in 25 option as well. With that, the Ultimates. Been in and out of this one as well. Just can't seem to keep up. But issue 17, we've got a Captain Britain option. Hawkeye. Pretty cool. That's a Ricky Agawa. And a 1 in 25. So grab whichever one you like, or don't, like I'm not. But we do have some new number ones if you want to take a look at some of these. So these will be some new titles starting and kicking off here in the 3rd week of October. What do we got? I don't think we have a lot, but we do have a couple Halloween type of books, as you might expect. But here we go with our first one, which I think is a Mignola. Yeah, it's a little bit of a Hellboy time, or the world of Hellboy. It's always one shots rolling out of Dark Horse related to these. So if you're interested, get it. We got 2 covers. You got the A and you got the B. And the B is by Mike Mignola. We've also got a Sonic special. So it's the 30th anniversary of the Chaotix, apparently. So yeah, Sonic special it is. With 2 cover options, A, B, and a 1 in 25, which, again, keep an eye on these. These things get hard to find, and there are collectors of them. So something to keep an eye on. Every once in a while, one of these pops the week it comes out. But long term, these get tough, some of these IDW incentives. Just saying. Boom is giving us a Halloween special for the Power Rangers because why not? Power Rangers really just isn't my thing. So I'm probably not grabbing this one, but there are a couple of cover options if you're interested and you are a Power Ranger fan, including virgin versions of both of these books. One of them is open order and one of them is a foil. And then if we take the foil off but leave it as a virgin, that will also be our 1 in 10. And then we also have a 1 in 15 with Rita Repulsa. Cool. Speed Racer is giving us a one shot of Tales from the Road. Some of these covers look cool on Speed Racer, but I've never been a big Speed Racer guy. So the books didn't really appeal to me. I don't know if they're good. Please let me know. But we've got a cover A with, I think that's Racer X back there, right? We've got a B cover. Pretty cool looking there. Like I said, these covers are all pretty solid if you like cars and Speed Racer, Racer X. And we even got a Joe Quesada, which I think is an unlockable, but it'll technically be open order if your shop ordered enough. So, yeah, cool. And that's out of Mad Cave. And then we might be a little early because, we haven't even hit Halloween yet, but there is a Thanksgiving book out of Ahoy. So if you want a Thanksgiving book, yeah, big murdery Thanksgiving story. Cool. A, B, or Chase Down That Turkey, cover C. And then we've got a Mega Man X or Mega Man ZX, I guess. I don't know. I get all of these because I'm a big Mega Man fan. So I'm getting these anyway. But this is out of Udon. We got 1, we got 2, and we've got a 1 in 5. And like I said, just like those IDWs, some of these 1 in 5s or some of these incentives for Udon also can pop on the week, but could generally be hard to find down the line. So up to you if you want to collect them. I like collecting some of them. Not all, but some of them. Mega Man, yeah, even with the little Robo puppies and Robo dogs, yeah, probably going to grab that. And then we've also got the Street Fighter Masters, this time Elena. So here we go, focusing on another character spotlight. We've got an A, we got a B, and then we've got another 1 in 5 option, which again, could be tough, could be sought after down the line. Who knows? And to wrap us up with our new number ones, we have Warwolf out of Mad Cave. So Steve Orlando is giving us something about a alien invasion and a security guard. He's got looks like a staple gun or a nail gun. All right, if you're interested, give it a look. See, there's A, and then there's a B. So pick whichever one you like. That looks like a crazy cybernetic bear. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not the last book. The last book is actually Terminator related, and this is out of Dynamite. So expect a lot of covers. Once again, Declan Shavley giving us this pretty awesome Terminator metal. It is not a metal cover, but the title is Terminator Metal. So keep that in mind. Don't get confused. But pretty cool Terminator book right there with some other options as well. A's, B's, Z's. I mean, it's Terminator. So if you like Terminator, go ahead, pick it up. I just think there's just too many covers from a Dynamite that it just kind of sours me on the whole thing. But I think that's John Jiang on that one, or is it Ivan Tao? I can't remember who did this fourth one, but pretty solid cover options before you get to the other variants of black and whites and virgin versions and foil versions, yada yada, out of Dynamite. They are also doing, that's right, a blind bag. We do have another blind bag this week. So after all the shenanigans of last week's Monster and the Wolf, yes, Monster and the Wolf did have that blind bag last week. I still am waiting some of the ones I pre-ordered to come through the mail, but I did grab 10 while I was at the con because there was a table. They had them for undercover. They were just $5, $5 a bag, and I think it's a $6 cover. So I grabbed a couple. Got a couple of books, but we're not here to talk about that one. That was last week. This week's blind bag is related to this Terminator metal book. So we'll take a look at that. Mystery variant blind bag. Inside this, apparently, you've got a couple of options. I don't have examples of what they're going to look like if you were to buy this, but apparently this blind bag contains 2 separate limited edition copies of the Unstoppable first issue that feature unique variant covers drawn at random from a range of art exclusives to this offering. Included are 3 original covers by yada yada yada. So we got 3 different artists, each an homage to the franchise's iconic movie posters. That's kind of cool. I like a good movie poster homage, as well as line art variants and all new foils. So that's what you're getting inside of this for the low price of $15. Yeah, these aren't cheap. So unlike those cover price or undercover price Monster or the Wolf ones, to be fair, 90 some covers is a bit extreme. I don't know how many different options you have here, but $15 is a bit of a steeper buy-in, just like the $10 the DC ones cost you. And I think the Marvel ones we're going to get in a week or two for the Ultimate book is also going to be like $10. Up to you. I get it. Not everybody likes them. Some people downright hate the blind bags. They are what they are. You got the gambler mentality. You got that scratch-off feeling that who knows what's inside. You're trying to get lucky. I get it. It can be very addicting. So also be mindful of your wallets and try not to over invest, because despite the fact that those initial rushes hit and those initial prices will be like, wow, look at this foil. It's this much and that much. That FOMO doesn't last very long. And sooner rather than later, just like the Battle Beast books of a couple months ago, it gets kind of forgotten about and everybody's just on to the next one. So I wouldn't invest, is what I'm trying to tell you. If you want to play, buy, open up for fun. That's why I did it. Go for it. But don't think you're going to get rich unless you are doing a quick cash in sort of flipping, because it's most likely not going to work out. Just so you know, that's what happens. Long term, a lot of these don't hold. So with that, Facsimiles. Let's get to that. Facsimiles, we've got a couple, actually just 2, I think. So that is an accurate statement on my part. Starting off with Action. We've got Action 252, Supergirl, regular cover. You get a blank, and you get a foil for $2 more if you want it. Cool. We've also got Uncanny X-Men 140, continuing the X-Men run that they've been dealing out these facsimiles for. Wendigo showing up. Cool. There is also a 1 in 25 new art incentive version. And then we'll go to the later prints, of which, again, not a lot, but we've got a couple. starting off first with the Immortal Legend Batman, I believe. There is a second printing of issue 1. So while issue 3 is coming out, here's your second print for issue 1 to help you catch up if you need. And if you need to catch up on the KO event, the Prelude books from Superman are here with issues 28 and 29. And then you have this week's issue 30. So you can play your catch up on Superman if you need to as well. And then we also have Dead Samurai rolling out some more second prints for you to catch up. These are just cool looking covers. I mean, this is the Bill Sienkiewicz here on the second printing. And then we've got another option here on the sort of B cover second printing. And then there's also an incentive, which looks like it's a version, 1 in 15 version of that cover A. So grab that one if you like as well. And I know I said it last week that the pumpkin spices were all done, but I forgot. There was one more. That's this week's edition. So now the pumpkin spicy covers out of DC are finally coming to a close with this final Harley Quinn book on issue, what are we at? 55. So there we go. Frank Cho, Harley's a Witch. We've seen similar covers to this like this before, but still always good. I like Frank Cho. Ran into him to Baltimore as well. He was on my floor. Yeah, I'll save all this stuff for tomorrow. With that said, last one now. Pumpkin Spicy is done. And I think we have the next to last White Tiger team up book. So we've got the third one of these, I think we've come across, and this is almost done because I think there's only 4. But this week we are getting the Fantastic Four cover with Thing and White Tiger teaming up with that bright orange. And then we got one left. And with that, Muppets. So our Muppet covers are also nearing an end, but we're not quite there yet. Not quite yet. We've got one this week, and I think we got one more next week. I think it was supposed to come out this week, but the Battle World book, I think, got delayed. But here we got FF4 Fozzie as the Thing. And, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have the what book it was. It was the Thing #1. Would have been right next to it. But, yeah. We were supposed to wrap up this week, but that Battle World 2 got pushed to next week. So we'll wrap that up next week. Tron Ares, however, I think was synced up to end now this week. So let's take a look at our Tron Ares variants for this week, because I think we've only got, no, we got a few. We've got the Jeff the Landshark. So you got, I mean, cool. I mean, all the Jeff the Landshark books. I mean, that's kind of fun. Tron Ares kind of tie in. You got a Miles one, which, to be fair, just kind of looks like a regular Miles cover, but he does have the Tron discs in his hand. Then we got Moon Knight, which, again, looks very Moon Knighty, but kind of Iron Man-ish, but it is a Tron. And then we've got the Ultimate Spider-Man also giving us a Tron book, which is kind of cool. And I think, oh, no, we got one more. So almost done with that. Again, one more next week, and then that'll be wrapped up. And then we'll get back to the Marvel Zombies variants. That's right, Marvel Zombies. So with these, they've kind of slow rolled these out, but it makes sense to kind of save most of them for Halloween, or as we near Halloween. So they're picking up the pace now, as Halloween is next week, after all. This week we're getting this Miles, all zombified. I mean, he was a vampire before. We got this Moon Knight, kind of cool. Looks like a mummy. Makes sense, right? And then we even get Spider-Girl with that nice little brain in hand. Cool. And as I said, it is heavily backloaded. So we will be getting 4 more next week to wrap up the zombie covers. But I figured also to put in this segment the fact that we are still getting the Marvel Zombies Red Band book. So with issue 2 of that one, I'm going to probably be checking this out, because I'm still kind of curious where we're going with this one. So Marvel Zombies Red Band issue 2 is also coming out with a few cover options from your A's and your B's. You got a C and a D, which is kind of a retro style one. That is the one I'm picking up. So cool. And if you want, there is a 1 in 25 as well. Like I said, I'm going to grab that retro one because I find those kind of fun. And with that, there are no cheesecakes this week, mind you, but we'll get to the regular covers for you to pay attention to. Worth a shout out, worth a mention. And yeah, let's just get right into it on their own. Some could be cheesecakey, but no segment this week. Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger, issue 10. This Marco Fiala? I don't know if I'm butchering his name. I heard this might have gotten recalled or asked to be destroyed because there's a printer error on this Tales of Gunslinger. There's an A and a B. Don't mean that there's going to be some valuable. I don't even know what the recall is for or what the printer error is for. Like I said, I think they just said, hey, destroy your copies. We'll send you new ones. So I wouldn't get crazy going after error copies because it's probably just something stupid like they reprinted a page or duplicated a page or something. Again, I don't know what the issue is yet, but that's what I heard today just before I sat down to film this. I think some of the boys were talking about in one of our chats, but I do like this cover, so I threw it in here. Just like the regular Gunslinger title is also coming out this week with this Bjorn Barons. I like this hole through the body shot. It reminds me of Shaun of the Dead when, Mary was in their backyard and they kind of got her with the tetherball pole. Or was it a tetherball pole? It was just a regular spike. Anyway, I like that shot with the hole in the body. I thought it was pretty cool. So issue 48 of Gunslinger Spawn's got that. And then we've also got King Spawn number 50. Wow, can we believe we got 50 issues of this spin-off Spawn title? Yeah, 50 issues already. But Todd doing the cover A here on this one and celebrating that 50. You can bet there's a lot more. And there's a pretty cool Puppeteer Lee, which I believe is a connecting cover. I'm not sure what it's connecting to yet, but probably the other spin-off titles like Gunslinger, which will be hitting 50 pretty soon. I'm assuming it'll connect to that. There's also a Scotty Young, kind of fun there. So cool. And then we got a Spears 1 in 50, which ain't too bad. So Mark Spears doing something other than monsters. And we've got him doing a King Spawn on this one. And it's a 1 in 50 incentive. So keep an eye on that. But it is not nearly the highest incentive, as we will take that Todd book, take the trade dress off, and then we've got our 1 in 100 issue 50. We've also got a 1 in 250 black and white version of that. Or black and white. I think that might be signed. I think those are also signed out with 250, because then we have these special like sketch edition 1 in 1000s too that also will be signed by Todd. I don't know, man. It's a lot of books. It's a lot of books to order for King Spawn. Just saying. And then a lot of people have been talking up this book because of the characters on it, the Ronald McDonald here, but this Essentia 29, yes, is finally coming out. If you want to get this murdery Ronald McDonald with some of the other fast food icons of the day, and it's also Julius Caesar related. I'm not reading the title, so I don't get the Julius Caesar tie-in, but there is a tie-in on the covers, as this is the cover A, which is a wraparound, mind you, but we'll see the back of it in a second, because there's also a Virgin edition, but then there's also a Toga edition, where you can see, look, a Toga just appeared on Ronald McDonald, as well as you'll see on all of the characters, because while this wraparound, there will be a 1 in 15 incentive. Let's see, you got the big boy, and then look, you've got the Muppets chasing after him too. I don't know how they come into this, but we got a big boy going after Ronald. Like I said, I have no idea what this is all about, but interesting cover, and a lot of people are interested in it. And there are a couple different versions, because you have this version of that, and then we've got the Toga one. So I guess, like I said, there's togas on all of them because it's Caesar, and I guess Ronald McDonald is Julius Caesar. So is Big Boy Brutus or Kermit? I don't know. But whatever. Dead Samurai is still rolling, so we got those second prints. Issue 3 is coming out with this Bill Sienkiewicz cover A. Solid. And then there's a Mike Mayhew that I really like on this cover B. And it's a little naughty there, but not too bad. Keep an eye out, though, on the incentives for both of these, because there are 1 in 15s, which are versions of both, and they'll probably be pretty popular. At the very least, the Mike Mayhew one will be. And it is one of my favorites of the week. Just like the final installment of Flop's, I believe, connecting cover set on those Rick and Morty books. So with Rick and Morty versus the Universe number 4, we got the final Flops 1 in 10 coming out this week. And to connect all these up, it looks like the images are missing. There's little gaps missing. So Mind you, that's why there's spaces in between these pictures, is because you can see for them to line up properly, some of the art is missing. That said, you can still see how they'll connect as we roll through all of them now as they're all finally released. I think I got all of them. Could be a fun set to go and hunt down the line, but there you go. Shifting through all of the Rick and Morty goodness done by Flops, who is, you know, one of my favorites. One of my favorite artists these days. Yeah, there you go. More and more Rick and Morty for you. 1 in 10s by Flops. Just saying. Now, with that all said, let's get into the best of the week as we wrap this up. And with that, my favorites of the week start off with the incentive. And my favorite incentive of the week was almost that Mike Mayhew that we just looked at. But we got to go back to that Hello Halloween and edging out the Mayhew just by a little bit. The Hello Halloween #1 by Matea de Iluis. I don't know how to say it. You can see it. 1 in 10. Anime Scarecrow looks cool. I just like it. And then for my regular open order cover favorite of the week, it's once again Lee Bermejo, who again just killing it. Usually I know I'm kind of biased. Every week it's a Bermejo or Talavera or Dan Panosian. Yeah, well, that's what I like. So I show you what I like. You can tell me your favorites and what your best of the week is, but I'm telling you mine. And here, I like this Lee Bermejo. So there it is. And there we are. We ran through it about an hour. And with that, I want to thank you all for stopping by, checking this out, supporting the channel, coming by and saying hello over at Baltimore this past weekend. It was good seeing a lot of you out there. And yeah, plenty more content coming back your way. I will get back on a normal schedule soon. Hopefully my voice comes back to a normal level as well. And I'll see you all soon with some more content. All right.